In this lesson, we'll be saving and renaming each individual artboard file. Okay, so you can see that between lessons, magically your layers were all renamed and they all have the letter in front of their names, which is going to be really helpful later on. So now we have that all finished, and they're also all grouped together, which is really nice in the stacking order. Just going to make it that much easier. So let's go ahead now and save this project. So what you'll want to do is go to File and choose Save As. And we're just here inside of your project files. Now I'm not going to save this into your Illustrator files folder because those are all just your lesson files. We are going to save it into your reference files folder because that's where we're going to have these all named differently, and we don't want to get them confused with your other project files. So we'll be saving it in here. Now I'm going to call this just letters, and we'll go ahead and click Save. Now the next thing that comes up is very important. You don't want to just click through this. We need to come down to this box in the options and choose Save Each Artboard to a Separate File. And what that's going to do is create a different file for every single one of the artboards, and it will be named Letter 1, Letter 2, because we saved it with the name letter, and the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And after that number, or excuse me, after that title is going to be indicative of the artboard that was saved. So now you can see why it was so important to name those in order. Okay, so since we have that checked on, we'll go ahead and say okay. And it's going to take a while. You can see all the artboard files that it's saving. And I'm going to grab my window and pull this over here for you so you can see what it did. So it saved, as I said, the name letters, and then it saved all of those artboards. So if let's see what happens if I open up letters 01. If I select everything, you can see it's just the layers for the letter A, and it's just the letter A. So if I zoom out, you can see that's the only thing here. So this is awesome. This means that we need to rename letter 01 as the letter A. So what we can do is bring back that window, and we'll just right click it, go to rename, and type in A. And we'll want to do this for the rest of the letters all through the alphabet. And you can also double click to rename it, but you might have the trouble of opening it. So you can see that's going to be letter D. So that's what we want to rename it to. So this can take you a little bit of time. So I'm going to, let's just say we have those done. We get down to letter 26. We know that there's 26 letters in the alphabet. So this one's going to be Z. And then we come upon 27. So we'll need to open up 27 to see what that is. That's our circle. So we'll go ahead and rename 27 circle. And I'm going to name that with all caps because I think that might make it easier once we get into After Effects. Okay, so then we'll go in here and let's open up letters 28. That's going to be our down line. So we'll go ahead and rename that to downline. There we go. And then we'll open up this next one. This one's going to be our X cross. We don't want to just name it X since we have a letter X. And then let's see what this 31 is. That's going to be our half hoop. So we'll rename that half hoop. And that should take care of all of those. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one of them may have bumped up here. Let's see if we've got, oh, here's one that we missed. Let's open that one up. That's going to be our down line. So let's see what this one is, because it looks like this one's actually our sideline. We renamed it to downline. That's fine. Very, very easy to fix. So we'll just get out of these here and then go back to our reference files. We'll rename downline to sideline and rename this one to downline. And if you want to check to see if that's correct, you certainly can double click to open those up. Perfect. And that looks pretty good for those 5 little bits that we have at the bottom, those extra artboards. So in between lessons, I'm going to go through and rename the rest of these letters, just kind of going through in sequence and renaming them very, very simply. And then we're going to come back in the next lesson and we will be in After Effects, and we're going to be importing these files to After Effects and organizing them in your project panel. So there comes a little bit of preparation even once you get it into After Effects after all of this preparation in Illustrator, but it makes it so much easier in the long run. It's definitely worth it. So stick around and I'll show you the way that we need to import and organize these once we get to After Effects.